We thank the Director of Operations of OCHA, Edem Vasornu, for the briefing. We are concerned by the continuing blockade of the Lachin corridor. Currently, steps on the ground are needed more than ever to speedily de-escalate the situation around Nagorno-Karabakh, including by lifting the blockade on the Lachin corridor and using other humanitarian routes. The Russian Federation, in the support of both parties, is making every effort to rapidly resolve this crisis and to support normalization of relations between our friendly countries of Azerbaijan and Armenia. We're doing all we can on political and diplomatic channels, on all levels and on the ground through the Russian peacekeeping force to prevent a humanitarian tragedy in the region. We continue to remain actively in contact with all parties involved to rapidly resume the stable provision of food, medicines, and other essential goods to Nagorno-Karabakh, as well as electricity and gas. All of these statements by the President of Russia, President of Azerbaijan, and Prime Minister of Armenia of 2020-2022 stand as the roadmap for reconciliation between Baku and Yerevan, to which there's no alternative. The potential of trilateral agreements is far from being exhausted, and their key element is the delimitation and subsequent demarcation of the Armenian-Azerbaijani border with the expert assistance of Russia, as well as restoring transport links as part of the trilateral working group under the co-chairmanship of the Deputy Prime Ministers of Russia, Azerbaijan, and Armenia, as well as paving the way for Armenian-Azerbaijani peace dialogue and developing dialogue between parliamentarians and civil society leaders. In each of these areas, there has been significant progress. Russia plans to continue to make every effort in this regard. Armenian-Azerbaijani reconciliation is unthinkable without clear and reliable guarantees of security and respecting the rights of the residents of Nagorno-Karabakh based on universally recognized international principles in the context of the laws of Azerbaijan. This rationale stems from the repeatedly affirmed recent agreements between the leaders of Armenia and Azerbaijan on the recognition by each party of the territorial integrity of the other in accordance with the Alma-Ata Declaration of 1991. During negotiations of the foreign ministers of Russia, Azerbaijan, and Armenia in Moscow on July 25th, we proposed realistic compromises to de-escalate the tensions, which were taken into consideration by the parties. This would entail opening a parallel humanitarian corridor through Agdam and Lachin for movement of civilians and military cargo, and this would pave the way for speedily relaunching direct dialogue between official representatives of Baku and the population of Nagorno-Karabakh. Equally important are reciprocal pledges by the parties to refrain from politicizing this purely humanitarian issue. We hope that all participants of the process will find political resolve to overcome their disagreements in order to alleviate the dire plight of the tens of thousands of residents of Nagorno-Karabakh and to establish lasting dialogue through the Baku-Stepanakert format. Madam President, we're prepared to work with all responsible actors interested in normalization of the situation between Nagorno-Karabakh, and the Armenian-Azerbaijani reconciliation as a whole. Those who truly support this scenario based on the fundamental interests of Azerbaijanis and Armenians must set aside all geopolitical and domestic considerations. We also call for a responsible approach toward the use of the Security Council as a platform in this respect. The problems must be resolved between Baku and Yerevan in any case, and no externally imposed plans or solutions can replace dialogue between the two. For our part, we'll continue to encourage this dialogue and bring the parties closer to their good neighborly relations of old, including by using the Russian peacekeeping force. Thank you.